At the time of my diagnosis, my little running partner, Carol, was diagnosed with breast cancer. She's doing awesome. She now has been a survivor of 10 years. But it was interesting to me that we got this diagnosis at the same time. And even though our diseases were different, we certainly had the same road to travel. Carol called me up in the winter of 1999, and she said, "Why don't we run the Boston Marathon?" And I swear to God, it sounded like she said, "Why don't we go to the mall?" And I thought, well, why not? There's something I had never considered doing. Let's run the Boston Marathon. And my idea was that if I was going to end up in a wheelchair, what difference does it make if it's from the marathon or from the MS? The outcome would be the same. And at that point, I really now wanted to see just how hard and how far I could push back at that diagnosis. And I picked something totally outrageous. And in my world, it's something out of the realm of anything I ever thought I would do. It took about 6 months to train. And in the spring of 2000, we ran the Boston Marathon. I was invited to speak at the American Neurological Convention, 1,800 neurologists. And after I was done speaking, I was invited out for dinner, went to a lovely restaurant in Boston, and during the course of the evening, the conversation came around to mountain climbing. And someone at the table asked me if I had ever climbed, and I proudly named off 2 mountains in New Hampshire that I now know to be foothills. Absolutely, I've climbed. Well, the woman sitting to my left said, "Well, we've had an opportunity come up. There's a gentleman from Boulder, Colorado with multiple sclerosis, and he's looking to put the first team of climbers with MS on Denali." Well, after I gave the yes on that, my life totally turned upside down. I had to give up my interior design job because somehow I lost the passion. I also spent a lot of time up in the White Mountains of New Hampshire learning how to climb. And I really did decide that now my life was going to be partly soccer mom and partly mountain climber. And so I took it on with a vengeance. I did Denali in 2004, Kilimanjaro in 2005, which is the highest in Africa, Elbrus, which is the highest in Europe, in 2006, Aconcagua, the highest in South America, in 2007, and Vinson Massif, the highest in Antarctica, in 2008. I now have, this year, also 2008, we'll do hopefully the little bump in Australia, and 2009 will be Everest. I'm not here to talk you into running a marathon or climbing a mountain, but I am here to tell you to find your own mountain, whatever that mountain may be. Maybe it's going from your kitchen to your mailbox and it's using your walker instead of your wheelchair. Maybe it takes you 10 times and you only get as far as the living room. But when you turn back and look what you have done, not only did you do it, but you did it with MS. That's where you get your reward. And as I said, the brain is still a strong and powerful thing. And you too will be amazed that by pushing back, you can get that empowerment. You can get back a little piece of that soul and what you were before you had the disease. And I said I'm defined by those 3 S's: self-discovery, serendipity, and stubbornness. And with those 3, I've come to realize that I too can push back in some little subtle way at that illness. MS statistically affects women twice as much as men, 2 to 1. Between the ages of 20 and 50 are the demographics. But there's a whole bunch of young women who are finding out they have MS at 17 and younger. Those are the women. I want to look them in the eye and I want to say, this ain't your mama's MS. It's totally different. You want to be a veterinarian? Be a veterinarian. You want to have babies? You have babies. You want to get married? Whatever you want to do, don't let the MS define you. You define it. So my biggest message is to that next generation of young women facing MS, to say to them, get on a therapy, become your own advocate. In your lifetime, I firmly believe, and mine as well, but more so in there will be a cure. It's going to totally change. Prior to 1993, there were no therapies for MS.
In 1993, the first drug came out. The one I take came out in 1996. That's totally changed the face of MS. This new generation is the face of MS. There's no limitations on them. I'm just there to be there, light the way, and say to them, come on, come climb with me. Do whatever you had wanted to do. Don't let the MS stop you. That's my biggest message.